Breeze Talks podcast. And I have here with me, I'm Cici, okay? I'm Cici from Breeze. And I have here with me my good old buddy Macedo!
Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to our weekly episode of Breeze Talks. This one is the fourth episode. We are reaching almost the 50. That's great because, we decided to make five test episodes, and when we finish this, we are going to start inviting people, and that's awesome. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I'm very excited for this. I'm very glad we did this test period. It's been a very exciting few weeks now. And I think the next five are gonna be even more exciting.
Yeah, sure, they will.
And
And before we start, there is anything that you would like to talk about,
yes,
or
yes,
make any
yes.
comments?
I want to do the very common, very usual call to action.
Yeah,
So, guys, uh, in order to avoid me having to stop the conversation and doing those annoying ad stuffs, I'm gonna do this every starting minute. So, remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us. We have the Discord server, okay? That's the main point. We'll go to the Discord server and let's have a conversation there, okay? Uh,
exactly.
that's the usual. I don't want to go too long with this, but you know where to find us. We are on the internet. Just search for Breeze or Breeze Blocks or Breeze dot whatever, and we're gonna be there.
Yeah, we're gonna be there in the Discord. It's where you can find us to I don't know, talk about anything, discuss some crazy ideas or anything that's passing through your mind, and that's it.
Yeah, and if you are listening to this, you are probably in the future because we haven't started what is going to be the most fun thing for me at least. We're going to start to we're going to start to announce on the internet that we are online because right now we are posting stuff, but we aren't going at like Reddit or whatever to say, "Hey, hello, we're here."
Yeah, like we exist. Give us a visit.
But we are going to be there
That's it,
soon.
man.
So that's it. Let's just go to the conversation, okay? That's all I had to
Yeah,
say.
let's get to the fun part. So, like we were talking before we started, yesterday we kind of had a a how could I say it?
A meeting?
NASA,
Yeah, a meetup. Meetup, right?
yeah, NASA yesterday had successfully done the first part of their new mission. The Perseverance rover landed on Mars, and now it is going to start making recognition of the environment, and
Recognition, right?
yeah, of the environment, so we can possibly find signs of life or whatever that is there in Mars, and that's a continuation of the
Curiosity,
previous mission,
right?
right?
Yeah, I'm very excited for this. I have to say that I wasn't aware of this. I didn't know this stuff. Macedo
Uh-huh.
just told me, but I know about the main missions of Mars, and it's a very exciting mission, right? Exploring for life in our own solar system.
Yeah, because if I'm not wrong, the Mars rover, the one that ended up dead because the battery or whatever got got kind of dead. Like Cici told me that this mission, it kind of got way long.
Yes, it
It went
lasted
way
very, very
longer
long.
than it was expected to.
Yes, yes. What happened is that it ran out of juice. You know, it's for those who don't know, these rovers, they are like some huge, huge cars. They are like way bigger than elephants or whatever, like huge tanks, and they are pretty much like moving labs. And they run on solar power and also on nuclear power. That's very cool too. It's
Yeah.
very sci-fi shit, and they run tests around the planet. They keep collecting rocks and pieces of whatever. And inside their bodies, they run these tests. They destroy the rocks with lasers to analyze the smoke. Very crazy shit. And it's very, very cool now that I'm mentioning this. It's been a long time since I've learned this, and it's very amazing. Check that out. And those things they run out. They as you do tests, and they started. They had like a 500 days mission with enough juice for that. They planned that, but they could run for like three times as long as that. It was pretty amazing. It's something like that. Okay, I'm not sure, but it's very much like it's kind of like that.
Yeah, you bet. That's greatly that's great news. And this Perseverance rover that landed on Mars yesterday, it is not so big. I was reading about it. The measurements are like it has probably around 2 meters. It is 2 meters tall, something like that.
Really?
Yeah, it's not that big. If I'm not wrong, it is 2.2 meters tall, and in circumference, it is 2.7.
Yeah, it's not that big. However, we always have to remember it's not about the size, it's about what is it doing, what is it searching for.
Yeah, if I'm not wrong, if I read it correctly, the NASA engineering team used the base of the rover. Uh, they used the same schematics. They
Okay,
tried
yeah,
to
yeah. Same
they
shape,
only
same
upgrade. Sorry.
same shape, same plans,
Yeah, not only the shape but the hardware. They only made a few upgrades, software wise and hardware wise, so it could like last longer and have more, like do you say, have more functions. So well, they had to make they had to be very cautious because we don't know what there is in Mars yet. We don't know what's out there. We don't know what can we find. Last year or something around that time, we found out that in the surface of the planet there was particles of water.
That's fucking crazy, right? That's amazing. I hear this kind of stuff and I'm all like, yes, we have to go there.
Yeah, we really need to go there. And if they found water in the surface, in the last mission, right now we could find something even more interesting. But well, they needed to be cautious because we don't want to bring biological particles from Earth and bring them all over to Mars because that will be a huge of a problem. We don't want that. We don't want to spoil the environment. And well, that's a
Yes.
very delicate that's a very delicate matter because
Yeah, I think what's in mind here is that one single cell, one single virus, even like DNA strands and RNA strands, the pieces that compose the cells, even those things, they can self-replicate, and a single one can create the whole life on Mars again. And we
yeah,
don't want that. We want to be sure of what that we came with no life and we are searching for life.
yeah, we don't want our life to interfere with whatever it's out there. So, well, the rover landed yesterday. Now, let's let's just wait for whatever we can find in the weeks to come.
Yeah, and even the months and years to come. What I'm expecting, I'm not sure what they are doing there because, as I said, I didn't check any news or whatever. But I hope they search for life on the underground. It seems like there are some caves made of out of magma in Mars, and if there was a rover that could search there, they could probably find ice. And if you find ice, who know what you can find. It's pretty much there.
Yeah, yeah, and that's kind of crazy because if there, well, I guess that's kind of a common sense among the people that study this. But if you're going to find anything on Mars, it's probably going to be under the surface, definitely. And like you said about the ice, that's a right thing too, because now with our climate change here on Earth, the ice, like in Antarctica and even in the North Pole, the ice is
Hmm.
melting, and we are finding very creepy shit that was hidden in this ice. Like, for example, I read
The
about it
permafrost,
last
right?
week. Yeah, and kind of in the permafrost. And for example, now that the ice is melting, the scientists that are involved in the analysis of this ice, they found out that I guess 30 tons. No, 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 no.
Tardigrades, tardigrades.
No, no, not 30. 30 is very little. Um, Imagine 30 fucking ton. Imagine a huge ass amount of of carbon. What is this?
Yeah, I
Oh, I
heard
can't.
something completely different. Sorry, Macedo. I heard tardigrades, but you said 30 tons.
Yeah, 30. Sorry, but oh man, I'm sorry about that. But I forgot the nomenclature in English.
Try to say in
Eh,
Portuguese, I'll help you.
It's carbonic gas, not that.
It's CO2.
Yeah, it's CO2, but more toxic. It's not the common CO2. It's
It's
something different.
methane.
Yeah, I guess it's methane, and there's imagine all the imagine all these gases that humanity produced since the beginning of the industrial revolution.
Uh huh.
Since since the industrial revolution up until now, there's a amount of gases that have been released to the atmosphere, and that's a lot if you think about it. But hidden in that ice somewhere, there's like 10 to 20 to 30 times more.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that was hidden beneath the ice, but now that the ice is getting melted, this gas is evaporating up to the atmosphere, and that is going to to
Create
speed up.
like, yeah, the greenhouse effect, right?
Yeah, it is going to speed up even more the climate change and all this bad stuff that is happening. Did you see what's happening in Texas?
It's fucking snowing, bros. It's snowing in Texas.
Dude, it's no, not only snowing, it's like these dudes got into like in some ice age or something like that. It's fucking creepy.
Yeah, I saw a video of some chickens. The guy opens the door to the barn, and then the chickens leave the barn and they leave all running like 30, 40 chickens like all running. Hey, it's the day, let's go have fun in the grass. And they touch the snow that hasn't happened in like 35 years, so no chicken
Yeah.
alive. And they all like, what the fuck?
Oh fuck, man.
And they run back to the barn like very fast.
Like, bro, look at all this shit that is happening. Like, when did you imagine that it will be
Oh, I
so so
imagine this
so?
my whole life. I have always imagined this. I have always known this for sure. Ever since I was just a little child, it was always prophesized in the, well, I could say my Bible. Yes.
Yeah,
That Bible is called Digimon. And if you watch Digimon season 1, it was all there.
yeah, right. I didn't watch it, but
No,
well,
first
then this,
episode starts like this. It's the year 2000, and for some reason, it's starting to snow in the summer, and there's like rain in the desert and whatever. And it's because of the digital world.
that's so awful.
Yes, but that's what I believe in, so I'm not I'm not surprised. I have expected this for 15 years now.
Man, and this turn of events, this entire climate change that is happening right now, it's only going to speed up, like, very fast.
Yes, yeah, we are living a very, aside from the jokes now, we are living in a very, I could say, the opposite of exciting. We are worried about a lot of crazy stuff that may happen. Let's not forget that we just left a period of world wars and like the threat of nukes. They were like immediate problem, like very very dangerous. But we are living a much worse problem. It's a non-immediate problem. It's going to happen like after we all die, and that's very hard to combat. To fight against.
Yeah, it's truly hard to fight against because that's something you kind of can't control. Not yet. We don't have the technology to have power over it. Like, for example, uh, I was thinking this yesterday when I was reading about the this NASA mission that we talked about earlier.
Hmm.
The Great Expedition, the second Great Expedition, already started right back after the end of the World War II. Like, it was between USSR and the USA. They were trying to reach the moon to see whatever. They were,
Yeah, that was a dick measurement contest, okay?
yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I was going to say exactly this. It was a dick measurement contest, and but right now it is not only a dick measurement contest. It's like right now it's a race for survival.
Yes, I don't even know if it is a race for survival, because we are. Well, first of all, I guess that's not even the problem. I disagree with you in the very beginning. I think we do have the technology to do this shit. I just think that people are not motivated enough as they were in a period of war, you know. Because if we can learn anything from like World War II, every single World War, the last century as a whole, is that if people are motivated, they can make some very insane things with technology, like world destroying technology, like like especially the states, governments and stuff. They can like move some huge amounts of money and minds and create like technology of gods to literally leave the planet and go somewhere else in like 10, 20 years at the time like a president's alive, I am alive. A generation saw people go from airplanes to the moon.
Yeah, you got a point in there, but that's kind of complicated because, well, okay, we already have the technology to do so, but to unify all of humanity to fight together for one objective is very hard. You can see that with COVID.
Yes, it's only when life is threatened that we actually join as one.
Yeah, well, life was kind of threatened in here with COVID, and you only saw the civilization getting divided because there's a lot of assholes out there, and that's a problem. Can't if you can't unify because of one single virus, imagine because of the entire globe, the entire environment of the planet. That's hard, and that's why I don't know. There's companies, private companies, and governmental companies working on these issues, like exploring the universe out there. Right now, NASA is exploring Mars. I don't know if SpaceX or whatever is going to do so too. But if they are going to find a way to live in there, that will be great if they find it out soon enough. I remember, I don't know who said it. Uh, it was probably Musk. Maybe he saw some scientist say so.
Hmm.
Uh, it is said that if you want to make Mars a habitable planet, then you have to nuke the shit out of both,
Oh, the poles, right?
yeah, both magnetic poles.
Yeah, yeah. I know what you're saying. Go on, please.
Yeah, but if you're going to nuke both magnetic poles with nukes, then you're going to have to wait a little bit because imagine all the radiation that's going to be in there.
Yeah, I think that's a dumb idea. For sure. Definitely. I'd rather live in bubbles than like nuke the whole planet.
I don't know if no, if I don't know if nuking the planet is the right is
No,
the
I
right.
know. It's the wrong. It's the wrong. I know. I am saying this. Cici is saying this. It's wrong.
Well, I mean, even in the long term,
Yes, definitely, for sure. Because that's like brute force alternatives. You don't want that for sure. At least on Mars, we can do other stuff. We can do like first, we don't really have to live in the planet. We can live in orbit. Like bring a huge ass spaceship, a continent-sized spaceship, and orbit there, and then go doing some missions in there slowly. Build like then you build a bubble, like Sandy Cheeks from SpongeBob.
you're. I was imagining like the Wally.
Yeah,
Remember?
yeah, yeah, kind of like that. And that's the main. That's what a sane person would do. Please don't nuke the planet. We are not even there yet.
Don't nuke the planet, please.
Could you not?
Do not- that's not a good idea. But for example, if you were going to choose the alternative, like not only choose because that's stupid to choose otherwise, but okay, let's build some bubbles, some capsules. I don't know, some domes. Let's build
Domes,
domes
domes.
on the surface of the Mars planet. Um, in the beginning, there's only the scientists, engineers, researchers, and the like are
Hmm.
going to, and it's probably going to remain like that for I don't know a, a century at least.
Well, we can see the history of Brazil. If we remember right, when people first came here to this continent, they came here in the 1500s exactly. 1500s, like crave that's insane. I always liked that.
Yeah.
And they like looked around and they were like, yeah. there's stuff here. And then they went away for like 30 years and it stayed like that. And then after like 180 years, after those 30 years, they came back. And then they started doing the business to make Brazil. And after like 80 years, then yeah, people started to say, okay, let's build states there and whatever. Let's live there.
Yeah, and the same thing is gonna happen as well. Like today, the civilization as a whole is way more developed. We have more technologies. Our social systems are kind of different. We kind of evolved. We still have lots of problems that we can see that are creating these very same issues that we are seeing right now. But the same process is going to happen. Well, but right now, I mean back then there was only I don't know. They were some very crazy guys because I don't know.
Yeah.
Some dude out there was like, "Hey, do you want to hop in this wood boat and sail west until we find something?" And the
Bro,
dude was
those guys
like,
were insane. Completely. It's pretty much what we have right now with space. They feel like wooden boats, wooden boats, wood, just wood, with like 1,000 people. I don't know the number, but the thing is, only 40% are expected to leave and get there. You know, what the fuck,
"That's crazy." And then if you make it, if you made it, no, if you make it alive in the destination, then you will be on your own. You will have the other people that survive it, and then we will be like, okay, so what do we do now? Because well, there's nothing in here.
bro?
But
No, no, that's not the case. You do not understand. You do not comprehend. It's even worse. It's like there were people there. It's like we go to Mars and we find people there. It's like what?
whoa, well, but now you're making a hypothetical
No,
situation.
I'm
How do
not
you
saying
know
that.
that?
I'm not saying that's going to happen. We're going to find aliens in Mars. I'm just saying that in Brazil it was way crazier. Like not in Brazil, but like finding America. Like
Yeah.
people were way crazier than we are right now.
Yeah. They were way crazier. I get it. I got what you mean. They got in here and then they found some aliens. They are
True,
aliens.
they were aliens, and also the people who came from Europe, they were like the aliens who were high technology. Because in America, they didn't have horses and metal. So shit was crazy for real.
Shit was in their eyes. Those shits were way way too much developed, and I can only imagine what this meeting was, and that's very crazy. And that, if you think about it, that was only 500 years ago.
Yeah, it was some time ago, but not that much.
No, that's nothing. That's really nothing. We're I always like it to think that. Do you know when you were playing some online game, some MMORPG? There are the servers.
Mm-hmm.
I always
Mm-hmm.
like it to think that we are truly in the new server. We are truly in the new world because that's literally it. We are the new server if you think about it. Because if you think about humanity as a whole, all the stuff, all the shit, all the wars, all the more how can I say it?
Be my
Um,
guest.
not no the wars, the scientific development and stuff like that. It was all
Oh, new
happening.
server, you mean we are developing the meta, right?
Yeah, think it about it in a meta way.
Okay, I get it.
500 years ago, all the stuff was happening in Asia, in Europe, in the Middle East, even. And in here, there was not happening much. Like we had our natives in here, but they were like just chilling.
Yes, yes. I guess that's one uh, usual trope in our stories is that history as a whole is getting faster, and Europe being the new server then, it was way
Mhm.
faster than this server here in the Americas.
Yeah, and but not only faster, but all the shit was happening out there, and then the all some of the players got into the new server, and then they got to the new world, and right now we are living in the new world. If you think about it, Oxford in England is 1,000 years old, and the civilization in
True.
America is only 500 years old,
That's
and
very
that's
crazy, right?
that's crazy. That's truly crazy. Like there's an entire part of the civilization out there, on the other part of the planet, that look at us and think like, man, my street is older than you. Like, shut up.
True. That's very true. And that's something we are going to see happening again and again and again. First at the moon, and then at Mars, and then at the solar system, and so on and so forth.
So on and so forth. And right now, we are going to see the second Great Expedition process that started back 50 years ago. That's all. That's another thing that's kind mind blowing. It's truly mind blowing of how recent it is. Uh, like 70 years ago, if you talk to someone that some dude was going to go up to the moon, they were going to be like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yes, bro, literally 100 years ago, literally, I'm saying literally,
Yeah,
there were
100
no
years ago.
planes. There were no planes. We were starting
No,
like some, what's the name of the guy in Brazil? Fuck. Santos
the
Dumont
moon guy,
shit, yeah, Santos Dumont shit. He was making like, pretty much like, it's called tecido,
tissue.
texture. Tissue, no, it's not tissue because tissue is flash stuff. Flash planes. Yeah, but it was out of wood and whatever.
Yeah, he was one of the guys that was making one of the prototypes of the plane. In the USA, you have the Wright brothers that were making some other thing. That's this this is a very controversial matter because some people, well, Americans,
Americans, especially the Americans.
especially the Americans, tend to think that the
Oh, no,
Wright
no, no,
brothers
no,
invented the
no.
airplane.
Americans as in USA, okay, because I am also American, if you consider America as the continent. So let's specify that.
Yeah, true. Yeah, yeah. But not only not only the other part of this matter. We have Santos Dumont who invented his prototype of the airplane. But I think, if I am not wrong, I think he
There
was
were,
not the only one. There were other persons who made other their own inventions, and then it all evolved to the airplane that we have right now. And that's kind of something that happened with lots and lots of technology that we have nowadays.
yeah, people
And
invent the same thing in the world at pretty much the same time.
yeah, but like we are saying, back 100 years ago, the world that we have now was unthinkable a century ago.
Yes, even to my parents, it's pretty much unthinkable what the internet is doing, and even VR and 3D printing. I always blow my grandma's brains out when I show her the printer working.
The printer.
Yes, she came from like, our street, Ruazilda, in Brazil. It's like, okay, it's an okay street, like every street in São Paulo, like, and kind of like New York, but like way more trash, the streets.
Yeah,
But
don't know like that.
yeah, but it's similar, okay? But when my grandma was young, it wasn't very much like that. We She saw the process of the concrete going into the cities, you know.
Yeah, I tend to think about this as well. Like,
She had no
if
TVs and she had pretty much no cars. She saw cars coming too.
Yeah, I tend to think stuff like that too. If you don't even have to go so far back, like imagine our city, São Paulo, like 70 years ago. Most of it was like farms and only it was only farms and the environment not being a city at all. The things that the city as we know it was only in the old downtown, like around Sé.
Yes, but point in case is my grandma, she saw TVs coming, like pretty much everything electronics she saw happen, you know. And by the time she was a child, if she had to make like a toy, she did it out of scraps, you know. Even plastic wasn't pretty much a thing here. Like paper bags were used way more than plastic bags, you know.
Yeah,
So the process of manufacturing stuff, like creating stuff, was way more uh, personal to her than what this machine can create. Because I can go to the internet and download pretty much anything you can imagine. Like really anything in a matter of a day, I can make it happen like in a sturdy plastic that lasts for way more than whatever she could build in my age.
and that's a huge disparity of generations. Like, for example, right now we tend to think way more about what the future is going to be. I don't know if we have more accuracy of. I don't know if our idea of the future is more accurate. No, is as accurate as what we think about it. But in relation to past generations, you can go you can go back 100 years or a little less. But people back then, when they imagined the future, I don't think they imagined the stuff that we have right now, like at all.
Yes, I
And
know
I
where
don't
you're
know if
going.
that's the same thing.
It is. It really is. I don't want to make a case for like the whole world, as in like top-notch world views. You know, I'm making a case here for me and my grandma. I am sure that she did not have this kind of perception of the world. Uh, I have way more perception of the world and the future right now because I have an internet. I have access to like the whole world. I have access to like the collective of the human brains across all of history at the touch of my fingertips for like 10% of my money, like
Yeah,
monthly money. And I am sure that my grandma did not have this. Like here in Brazil, schools are pretty shit, and they still are, you know. Even as I was a child, and I'm like 22. I had to learn most of the stuff like via the internet, something that I have access. Because if I had to wait for the schools or even books in my own city to help me, bro, I would have pretty much the same view as my grandma, you know. I'm sure of that.
yeah, I know. That I was not saying that this is a specific problem of the past generations. I don't. I know that this is a problem. This is a problem nowadays. Like you were saying, the all over the world, not only in the Brazil, not only in the U.S., not only in other.
Asia
countries out
countries,
there.
Africa countries, it's a global movement.
Yeah, it's a global problem. Like the education system kind of sucks. And if you and right now you have a phone on your hands, this phone is infinite times more stronger and faster and more powerful than the computer that was in charge of taking the first rocket ship to moon back in the back in
60s.
back in the 60s. And that's mind blowing because, well, that's how stuff is. We somehow some way we developed this technology that was unthinkable for past generations, and right now we have the means to envision the future with more accuracy because we have the means to do so. We can take our phones, we have the power on our hands to do so. We can research something. We have a thought about something. We can just look it up on the internet. But the problem is the thing that the point that I am trying to make is if even with this power, I don't know if we can truly imagine what's the future going to be, because right now we are studying how to make we are studying how to colonize Mars or other planets, or
Hmm.
even colonize some other parts of the universe. I don't know what's on the
Well,
mind of
even
the.
our own home, we can colonize our own home. Imagine we go to the moon.
Yeah, we can colonize the moon as well. I saw some papers on I don't know if NASA or SpaceX or some companies trying to make this viable. I don't know if they're going to do so, but it is a thing. And then I there's sometimes that I think that the future is not only it is not it is not that easy to envision it as we tend to think about it right now. And right now, I mean the current generation.
Well, Macedo, in this sense, I feel like I'm very pessimistic. I'm going to shit all over the place here because I feel like, as we said before in the very beginning of the conversation, there was a goal. We were fighting for something. Everyone was united, and even if it was to destroy the other side, that were people in the same sense.
Yeah,
And we used the power of the states to do this, and we got to the moon. We did our shit. We just didn't go back there because it's way too expensive. We just want to make a point that it's possible and we can do it. And we did it, and we made that point. And
sure.
then we got to the Cold War, while it was like by the end of the Cold War there was an enemy, and then there was no one. It was just the U.S. And then people were all like, "Hey, you know what? Fuck the U.S. Don't even care about it." And now we don't have like huge ass states that try to do crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. We have just a fuckload of people, and those fuckloads of people, some of them are united in like business, like huge business. So we are starting to live in a very pessimistic world where you know the states, they were like the ultimate power of humanity. What if humanity could control humanity? And they did it. Now we live in a period where what if business could control humanity? And business, they aren't even like for the people. They just want to make a point. Even if you have like Elon Musk with his huge ass Tesla, I mean, I know he wants to make something for humanity, but we are going back to kingdoms, going back to the monarchy era, because he's a single guy with so much money and so much power, technology, influence that he could rival states. So he is his own state. And even if I have my own vision of the future, I'm sure that Elon Musk does so too. And his vision is pretty much something like, hey, you know what? I'm going to another planet, and I'm going to make my own planet, and fuck the USA. And that's
That's
kind
kind of
of depressing, you know?
that's kind of depressing, but you were right. I already how can I say it? Everything that you just said is right. That is happening. This is already happening right now. Like modern companies are a form, are becoming a form of monarchies or their own ruling and controlling powers in itself. Like
Yes,
Elon
imagine
Musk, I
Facebook,
don't
you
know.
know? They
Yeah,
own pretty much the media. They own what we talk, what we see, what we laugh, you know?
yeah,
They can put presidents in their they can elect presidents, so they are way more powerful than the state.
yeah. No, this is already happening. There's a lot of people that like to suck Elon's balls, but he's only a billionaire as the other ones,
He's a
like
person,
Zuckerberg.
bro. He's a person. You can't run from that.
Yeah, just like Zuckerberg or Jeff Bezos, they're all the same. They're all interested in their own power, and that's true. The in some time in the future, they are going to look back and see that like Apple or Amazon or Facebook, Google, Tesla, SpaceX, they 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 are going to see it just like we saw, uh, just like we saw the the countries of the past. Just like you said it,
Yeah, but I
they
don't
are
want to
becoming a
be
new kind.
yes, but I don't want to be like only a person that shows only the bad side. You know, we have to be aware of this, what I just said. But I also believe in Elon Musk. You know, I know he does stuff because yeah, that's a good idea. You know, we want humanity to keep alive even if shit goes down in Earth. You know, and what I'm just saying, and as we said before, that I disagree with you about technology and that we don't have this power. No, it's pretty much the contrary. We do have this power, and there is one man who does have this power, and he has a name. His name is Elon Musk. And I'm saying that he has the power to change the world, but like if he joins the others, they all do have a name too, you know, and they do have the power to do some major, major, major changes, both in like the way we live and even the whole planet, and even way more than this planet.
Yeah, you can say that. What Elon Musk is right now is he is starting his own dynasty, like his sons and his grandsons and so forth are going to be like they're going to control this very same crazy shit that is going to happen from now on. Like it already started, and it is going to keep going for like centuries and centuries. We are not going to be here to see it, but I can see this happening. I can see this becoming way bigger than we can imagine. I agree with you. We already have the technology to do so. We already have the means to do so. Not only colonizing other planets and stuff like that, but to like not live in a chaotic planet that Earth is becoming.
Or nuke Mars. Don't nuke Mars.
Yeah, you also don't fucking nuke Mars, please. We have alternatives. And like I was saying, we already have the technology to do so, but shit, I forgot what I was going to say. I'm sorry.
It's okay, bro.
I'm I'm going to get back what I was saying.
Well, but there's one thing I want to say too, and also let's not be like so much like, oh, it's Elon Musk, he has the cards. Oh, it's Zuckerberg, he's a lizard, he knows how humans work. But we also can do stuff, okay? It's just that in this episode of the podcast, we pretty much specifically only talking about Mars. So yeah, going to space, well, that's you have to go there. So not many people are going to go there right now. But there are other major stuff we as single persons can do right now with no money, you know?
Yeah, but well, technology is evolving. Like the phone that I have on my hand right now and the computer that you have in front of you right now, it is something that even our parents didn't even imagine to have. Like, I mean, the financial power to have. And as technology gets more evolved and developed, it tends to get cheaper. And like, if you have something that you truly want to do right now, but you can't, it's very likely that in the decades to come, it gets more viable. Like, oh, I remember what I was talking about. Like you were given that example of the Cold War,
Mm-hmm.
and that you said that we got to the moon,
Mm-hmm.
but we never came back because there was not there we didn't have the
Reason. There was no reason to go there.
yeah, we have no reason to go there.
Uh,
And right now,
Please
I don't
go
know.
on.
We still don't have any reason to go there apart from the matter, not matter. There's some scientists that discover that there's a very 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 useful um
Atom. It's pretty much an energy source.
yeah, it's a very you saw about that too, right?
Yes, it's
That's a,
called H3. It's like hydrogen, but a different isotope.
yeah, and that's going to be very useful in clean energy.
Yes, well, I guess the matter is more complex than what I said. You know, I said that we have no reason to do this, but from a main timeline point of view, because if you look at the history, uh, like it was like these two potencies, like the U.S. and the USSRA, the commies and the USA, and they wanted to get to the moon simply to prove the point that they had like the capacity to go all the way outside of Earth, and by extension they could hit anywhere in Earth and throw a nuke. That's pretty much the whole story.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that the earlier example that you gave was wrong. In fact, we didn't go back to the moon since then because we really didn't have any good reason to do so.
No, no, that's what I'm getting at. I said this word, we had no good reason, but that's a lie. But because this is being told from the point of view of the winner of the war. So there was a big state, and whoever that does this wins the power to say that you cannot do this anymore. I'm the only one who can go to space. That's why NASA is a thing, you know. It's the only one that goes outside. Even on the other countries, the US pretty much said, "Hey, we're the big dogs, and you guys can do that, but let's make treaties, you know, sign stuff, laws, or whatever." And even if Elon Musk wanted to go to space, he cannot explore space. It's illegal to explore space. He cannot own stuff on space. The moon is of the collective of the humanity, as signing the law. Go search the law. It's written as that. And what happened is it's of the collective of the humanities, but who said that? It's the governments, and who's in the government, you know?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I know about that. There's like outer space laws, if you can call it
It's
this way.
that. That's the name.
But this doesn't make any sense. If someone has the power to leave Earth, like colonize a planet, whatever, if it's Mars or any other. How the fuck is the government going to control it? That's just bullshit.
That is not, my friend. Sadly, that is the reality. You know, that's the world we're living. That's what they said. This is why we don't go to space. Because they say you cannot own stuff, and the government is literally going to use forces. They are going to kill you with tanks and missiles, which they have developed in the
With
moon run.
space tanks.
Sorry, bro.
With space tanks.
Yes, that's the point. Trump started this in like 2 years ago. He made the Space Navy. I don't know the name, but Space
Yeah,
Rangers, whatever.
they
They
were
are the
going to be
only.
called Guardians or whatever.
Yeah, Guardians, right? It's a cool name. I like it. That.
Yeah, I like it as well.
But the government is the only one allowed to go there. And even if people go there, like even if they aren't government, we are all like, yeah, but you can make bombs with that.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see why this is a reality because we don't know if anyone could go to these places. They were going to choose to fucking nuke the thing, but I don't know. I see it as a common problem that the government is just being the government. It just wants to rule because it kind of considers itself to being the I don't know the
Big dick.
yeah not only the big dick but it acts like it is the only one who knows stuff and everyone else is a dumb moron child.
So yeah, that's my point, because if the government acts like that, we are living a moment where like business and people are getting so damn powerful that they can rival this, and this is why Tesla, like this is why we look at Elon Musk history. He said, "Bro, I'm so rich with PayPal that I'm going to make rockets because I have enough money." That's all. That's the story.
Yeah, we are truly seeing a the start of a new era here.
The government simply said, okay, so can you like give money to NASA and the rockets too, and then we allow you to do that.
We are going to see very soon a I guess I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that in the near future we are going to see changes. I don't know what they will cause. I don't know what is going to happen
Oh, I know.
in in
I
a
think it.
bad sense.
I think it's going to
But
be a shit show.
yeah, I can imagine. That's because that's why I was hesitant to say so. But it is going to be a shit show. It really is. But I can say that we're truly living in an era that's starting to make this it's kind of becoming more visible that the companies are getting bigger into their own thing. Just like you gave the example of SpaceX and Tesla under the rule of Musk, they're going to there is going to be others to rise to power as well, and we are going to live in a very interesting future. Not a good, yeah, not only a good.
Well,
No,
would
no,
you
no, no,
call
no, no,
this
no, no, no,
word
no, no,
good?
no, no,
It could
not a
be.
good one. It is going to be chaotic. It is not going to be a good one, but it is going to be interesting nonetheless.
Yes, I'm all for that view. I also think it's going to be interesting. I'm from Brazil. I live in a chaotic shit show since the very beginning.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah, it's just another Tuesday.
Well, but just a second, Macedo. We are at exactly 1 hour mark.
Wow, that was fast. I didn't even say the stuff that that I was wanting to talk about. Do you wanna make a pause or finish this episode?
No, we can keep chatting. I just have to make a call to action.
Yeah, that was good too. That was good because I was not taking, I was not focused on the time. So let's make a pause, okay?
Okay, sure. Let me just make the call to action, and then we can do like extra 15 minutes or whatever.
So everyone that is listening, we're not going to finish the episode, not the live stream. We're just going to mute, okay? We're going to be back in a few minutes.
Okay. Oh, but guys, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Okay, every single stuff that you guys already know how to do, and go to our Discord server. If you liked this conversation, if there was a point that we touched but we couldn't really explore, and you want to see more of that, go to our Discord server. Give us a like, and really do not be afraid to leave a big text. I'm going to read every single word, and I'm pretty sure Macedo cannot contain himself. He will also read that.
Yeah, I'm truly, I'm going to read it, definitely.
Well, okay, that's pretty much all I have to say. We are still live, okay? We are just mute. And 3, 2, 1. Estamos de volta, estamos ao vivo. Vou começar. Hello, guys, and we are back from the pause, and we are here again, and we want to be here for like I don't know, half an hour, a little more. And for this segment, I want to bring a question for Macedo. Okay, I have a question for him, and this is going to lead our conversation. Is that okay for everyone?
I think it is. So, what's your question?
Okay, I actually I took notes here. So I'm going to read it as I said it.
Okay,
Let me just find it. Just hold on.
all right. We just made a brief pause so we could drink some water or whatever. And
Okay,
I guess that this is related to something that we talked about in the first part, right?
your voice got lost.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Fine. Do you have the question?
yes, I do. Um, I actually wrote this in English because I want to say this in a specific way.
All right.
Okay, Macedo, I have a problem for you. A paradox. A conundrum, if you will.
Right.
So listen closely. Suppose you have a printer in your house and a 3D printer, okay?
Right.
And you print an object, a cube, let's say. And printing that cube, you use a simple 3D scanner, anything you can imagine. But you scan that object to a STL file, so it's digital. Then I send that file to you, and you print that file in your house. The same cube, every single thing, same specifications. I literally send you the G code. Question: does this count as teleportation?
Hmm. That's debatable because, well, you can see this as two ways, if I can say it correctly. Let me think. This counts as teleportation if we consider that. Uh, Actually, I don't know because actually I don't know because well, okay, let's define teleportation. In a
Good.
teleportation, a an object goes from point A to point B, and in this case, there are two objects in the final stage. Like you scanned a object, um, and then a new version of it got printed in another location. But the original object, the original object is still in its original place.
Yes, that's correct. But for those who already know this problem, this is pretty much the Star Trek teleportation system. The only difference is that they destroy the object. And I think that the main point here is that if you think about it, the only way you can make a one-to-one copy of something so complex that goes all the way down to the quantum level, if we suppose consciousness, then you have to destroy that because as you interact to scan, you move that, and it's not the same thing.
Oh, okay. If you okay, in this example, we use it something basic like a plastic cube. But if we got this to another level, like we if we take humans or something conscious and duplicate it, that's a another matter because you were going to create a clone, and then who's the real one? Who's the real person? The person that got to point B or the one who stayed at point A?
Yes, I guess I wanted to make a question that I already knew the answer because to me, I guess that is teleportation, but teleportation is only for simple stuff. You cannot teleportate like complex stuff because there is a level you cannot scan that anymore and make a one-to-one copy. But with plastic, you can.
No, that's cool. But what's in your for you? What's the difference between teleportation and space travel through wormholes?
Well, I guess the difference, like if you define teleportation as what you just said before, is that in this case we are going by move. You have to move something, one thing, like declare a dot. Let's say this is X.
Yeah.
So you have to move X from point A to B. That's defined as teleportation. What I just said is not teleportation, like the problem. It's not teleportation. So it's just an illusion. You are just cloning cube in point A and then recreating cube in point B. And that's what happens in Star Trek with people.
I guess I can picture it quite. I don't, I can't picture it clearly
So
because I
yes.
didn't watch Star Trek. But in
Mm,
this example, like you said, uh, people in this teleportation system, someone got into the chamber in the teleportation chamber, and then they went from point A to point B, but the person that went into point A teleportation chamber got destroyed. That's it.
correct. Because in order to make a scan, like one-to-one scan, you have to interact with very small particles, and in order to interact with them, you destroy the result. You destroy the thing and analyze the result.
And then in point B, the teleportation chamber was
Recreates, like imagine that you blow something up, and by analyzing how the bits got scattered, you use an algorithm to decipher and then like run time in the backward sense, like from the explosion to the point.
yeah, I can see it. But I mean, that's a very high tech shit because you have the power to create life just from nothing, just
Yeah.
using a very complex STL file, if you can say it.
Yes, that's what I wanted to touch when we talk about 3D printing because suppose we could do that. Suppose that we had like 3D printers that run on cells. We like make meat out of 3D cells. like literal cells. You just put them in the same place. Like you have a lot of cells, like those, I forgot the name, like baby cells. They are pretty much baby cells, and they can become any cell. And you just put them in the right place, and then a second nozzle, like the tip of the 3D printer, just puts the hormones that we know that have to be there to make life like grow. You know.
Yeah, and in this hypothetical teleportation system, you imagine. Well, okay, let's use the example of a 3D printer in here. Imagining that it has a built-in 3D printer in it, so we can replicate the object or person or whatever that was in point A. Um, it reads a STL file, if you can call it. It has
Hmm.
a STL file that it contains the genetic code of that person. It has all the information of the DNA of that person. But well, that's a problem because you can replicate the DNA if you have the information of it.
Yes, yes, you
But
can, and there are many machines that do that this today, especially
yeah,
with
you
people
can.
who like make stuff with bacteria and stuff. You can like actually program DNA cells.
Yeah, you can program it. We have this today, in fact, but the problem is with consciousness. How the fuck are we going to replicate a consciousness?
Yes, but you know that's where I wanted to touch when you asked about wormholes in specifics, because on this Star Trek problem, they do not. I assume they do not care about this. They do not care if they can replicate the consciousness, so long as they can replicate the body and the body will replicate the actions. You know. Uh, I guess that's where they are going for, because they literally destroy the original copy and then remake it on the other side. But in wormholes, this is a physics problem. So we imagine that space is like, for simple terms, a 4D object, which is a 3D as we are used with time, and time is simply like another point in space. And wormholes, they bend the 3D space in such a way that it makes, imagine point A is time, and there is A and B in time, and it's like 10 meters across. They use the 3D, they bend the 3D in order to make the A time in the time point like 1 second apart, 1 meter apart, you know. So you're like actually bending, you are taking shortcuts in space, actual space. So you are really moving. So there's the original copy, like get X from point A to B. So in this case, X would have to cross 10 times, like A1, 2, 3, 4, 5, until B. But in this case, like we just bend time and X actually does get from A to B. And you do not have to destroy X, you know, or recreate it. It actually moves in the space.
That
So
makes,
you preserve like your consciousness. You understand this?
yeah, that makes sense. There's only one thing that I would like to add in the previous example. There is something that I thought about now. Just before you mentioned these, just before you gave this explanation about the wormhole uh, movement, the well, you get what I mean.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
graphics business.
in this Star Trek example, I guess that, like you said, they didn't actually care about the consciousness itself. And when you say that, I had the idea that in this hypothetical situation, in this hypothetical environment where they have this technology, I guess that cons- you can. It's almost like you can consider this as something 4D in itself, because and I mean the teleportation system. I mean, because
Mm-hmm.
when they are able to scan an entire body and replicate it in another point,
Mm-hmm.
then if they don't actually care about their consciousness, you can actually consider that that's because the consciousness is part of the body itself. Like, I mean, imagine a 4D dimension. Imagine the fourth dimension where
Yes,
time.
I know where you're going for.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because in the fourth dimension you have point A where it is your birth, and there's the point B where it is your death. And
Yeah,
at
let's
the
just make something clear. In this kind of worldview, like Einstein stuff, relativistic stuff, this is what we're saying right now. For this stuff, that's Einstein. It's not quantum, it's different. And in
Yeah,
relativistic view, there is destiny, bro. And you are pretty much just a point that has a set of values. So long as you have those set values and you will have like some evolution in the timeline of the 4D, you can really run from that, you know?
yeah, exactly. And in this worldview, in this example, in this specific example, they can just scan someone and replicate it somewhere else. The person is going to be exactly the same, if you can consider it, because, well, I don't know if this is very hypothetical. This is very
No, this is like
uh,
very logic. That's not very hypothetical. It's the opposite. Because this is how physics work. You set values. Like
yeah,
A
right.
to
And
B.
the
X
point that I'm
equals
trying Yeah, but the point that I'm trying to make is that the conscious is part of the body. So at that point in time, at that at that point in time that the person was scanned, their conscious was part of the body. At that in that point in that point
Oh, I just
of the
remember
life.
something. Bro, I'm going to blow your fucking mind. Have you heard about Boltzmann brains?
I'm sorry, what?
Boltzmann brains. A
Boltzmann
brain?
brain?
Yes, a brain of a Boltzmann.
I don't actually remember anything like that.
Okay, so give me a minute here because I'm going to explain exactly what you're trying to say. A Boltzmann brain is a problem, a philosophical problem created by some guy called Boltzmann. And here's the idea. Imagine that the universe is like a box and it moves, the particles are like gas. It's a gas that moves like no, not this universe, okay? Imagine a universe. So it's
Mhm.
a box full of gas, and this gas, it moves like can be in any particle can be in any point of the box. It can move around, and it moves around in infinite time, and it has infinite mass. So there's like infinite particles moving around in this box for infinite time. This means that this particle, this gas, can take any single shape uh, if because it has infinite time, so it can
Yeah,
assume any single shape. So that means, suppose that this gas is simply just energy flowing, and matter is just condensed energy. This energy can take any form of position. So if we
yeah.
have enough time, you can like have a universe where we are right now at this moment in time, and we can also have a universe where like the particles are slightly changed to the left, just slightly changed to the left, and that goes on like for every single position possible in this box. And the thing about the Boltzmann brain is Imagine that we are like our consciousness is inside the brain, so far as we know.
Yeah.
And the brain
Yeah.
is made of matter, and our consciousness, what we see, what we perceive, pain, love, everything we touch and feel, it's made out of matter. It's inside the brain. We just don't know how it creates the worldview, like the movie inside our heads. But it's
Yeah.
there. That's what's going on. It's just matter. And it's matter moving around and evolving and whatever. So suppose that in this box that's chaotically floating and it can take any shape at any time, just particles bumping around. At some time, some particles are going to bump around, I don't know, in the middle of the blocks, like nothing is near it, but it bumps into the shape of a brain having this exact same conversation. So as you are listening to me, you are having the perception of I exist now, my story so far has been like this, and I can observe this because my body evolves and it's like X age, like I'm 20 years age, and I have the body of 20 years and the memories of 20 years in my brain's like that. And then
Yeah.
in the next second, the particles just take another position. They bump around to the other side. However, for a single second, you formed that memory, the core memory, that brain that would have this memory.
Mm, That's kind of interesting. I guess that, well, I wasn't able to actually verbalize what I was trying to say, but I guess it makes sense in relation to what you just said. What was it called? The Boltzmann brain.
Brain, yes, Boltzmann brain, double O.
That's yeah, that's kind of interesting because that's almost like what I was going to say. Because I was thinking about the consciousness as being a part of the matter itself. And that's why they were able to replicate it. Because when you copied all the DNA, all the cells, all everything, the consciousness was part of it physically. And that's why they were able to replicate it in point B from point A as a
Continuous
perfect.
experience. The person who teleportates to them, it's instantaneous, even if the travel takes like 1,000 years.
Yeah, in this example, the person that was scanned and or copied or whatever, the person was perfectly replicated, including the mind, including the consciousness, the memories, the personality, everything. It
Even
was not.
crazier stuff. You can say to the person, hey, you are going light speed and this is going to take like 1 billion years. You are going to arrive 1 billion years in the future. And the person arrives there and he's like in 1 billion years in the future. Even if it's not the same person. And he's like, ah, okay, it's 1 billion years in the future.
Yeah, uh, like I was saying in this example, it was possible to do so because, well, that's it. That's what you what you just said, and then that's very crazy.
Yes, I guess the point is we have ways to perceive the world. And these guys from Star Trek, they just said, hey, matter is consciousness, and if we just assume that the certain position that we are taking right now in a world that evolves according to relativistic views, and we assume the shape that is like 99.99999 the same as we left, then it's for our purposes the same. Bro, I talked to a lot of physics students and they all say they hear the same thing. Okay, imagine you have a cat moving at like 40 meters per second. Let's say that the cat is a sphere.
Okay.
What the fuck? But I don't buy this worldview. I'm just like reporting, what I heard.
Oh, I thought you was going to give another example. Yeah, give get a cat and suppose it is a what did you say? A
A
circle.
sphere, yes, a
It's
sphere. I mean, they round up stuff. They are not afraid to round up stuff. Suppose that what makes you you is like a dot 0.00001%. They are going to say, okay, let's round it up to 99.
no, yeah,
And then you make the teleporter because here's the problem. It's not that it's impossible to do the Star Trek teleportation stuff. We can do that. We have the technology. If we wanted that, we could make that stuff happen in like I don't know 1,000 years. It's not that much, but it's practical immortality. So long as you have the STL for my brain, I'm still there.
yeah, and that's why it creates the problem with the
Yeah, we easily would have clones. Many, 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 many copies of me.
yeah, that's why you create the problem of that illusion of the individuality, the problem of the
Yes, you nailed it, bro. You said it just right. Amazing.
yeah, the problem of individuality, where where you as you are, with all your memories, all your experiences, all your personality as a whole, you think that it is unique and well, unique to yourself, and if you die, this consciousness goes with your death, and that's it. That's the end. But with this problem, just like in the example of the teleportation in Star Trek, um, if you copy something like that, if you copy a body with the consciousness with it and replicate it somewhere else, then okay, you replicated it. You replicated it, and like 1 second later after the 1 second later after the person entered the teleportation chamber in point A, or after 1 billion years in the future. And that's the same body, that's the same consciousness. Considering that the consciousness is something that is one with the matter. But that's a problem because, well, if this is possible, then well, that's the same problem with that another philosophical problem of the ship, where you keep replacing parts of
Yes,
the
yes.
ship, and there's a moment where that's an entire different ship and not the original anymore. And we could bring this to this conversation right here because, well, if we get to this point, if we develop our technology to this point, we actually can create clones of ourselves. We can actually reach immortality. But it's definitely going to be no, there's definitely going to happen this philosophical problem. Well, you can replicate yourself, but that thing that got replicated from you, that's actually you or a copy of you, and you were actually dead.
Well, I guess you don't have to die. That's the worst problem. You don't even have to die. Like, you just make a copy, and it's just me walking around, like, smoking my Dolby. Bro, please, no.
Well, but I mean, I remember that I was talking to you about this the other day when we talked about how this already happens. Like, our body regenerates every day, every second. Our
Hmm.
cells regenerate at every moment when we take it, when we get hurt or something, or even or even when we just uh, get new cells when we
Yeah,
take
let
a
me
bath
just
or
let me just
something.
add this. If you look closely, this process of recreating yourself is what happens in cells. That's what they do. That's their whole business.
Yeah, that's the whole business. And what I was talking to you that other day was that this already happens. Like with this replication process of the cells, with this renovation process of the cells, uh, we we as living beings, for example, we change all our cells, all of them, at every 7 years or so. Like
They
I am not the
replicate
same.
and die. They replicate and die. Substitutes.
Yeah. So well, I am literally physically not the same person as I was 7 years ago, but I still
Except for the brain. The brain does
accept.
not replicate. You only get this brain for your whole life. Did you know
Hmm.
this? The brain, the cells, they age. You know, you can have like 40 years old cells in your brain, even more. The, there is no replication of the brain because they work in a different way. You get those cells and they have the arms, the little fingers, and they keep making more fingers in the arms and making more arms and more fingers. So that's why you only have the same brain cells and they don't age, they develop.
No, I didn't. Well, then you got me in here.
Yes, this is
Then,
why it's scary.
well, then this doesn't make sense because we have our brains our entire lives, but well, then it's obvious that the consciousness is part of the brain physically. That if you copy the brain, if you copy the tissues, the neurons, everything that's inside the brain, if you get all of it and replicate it somewhere else, it's obviously that you're going to get the same consciousness. Well,
Yes, but that's a modernist view, you know. While it is true that it may be very, very much true that there is a very physical world, the one real reality, in that our bodies are tied to that reality. Our definition of personality and identity and how we would act, they are not really tied to the physical body. I mean, you can still perceive me as being me through the screen and through my acts and through my words, even if I have a different body, you know. I may just lose my consciousness. That's the very worst problem. I may lose my conscious and perception of one united entity. However, I will still act and even report that I feel very much the same.
but that was not going to be you,
Yes,
just a
so
copy of you.
it's very much worse when we take the boat problem again. If we go slowly, that's where the true existential crisis comes in and the terror sets in. Because suppose that I do understand this and that I may lose my perception, however, I may also enhance my perception. So I add stuff to my brain and I keep adding. I never like discard the old brain. I just keep adding stuff, adding stuff, adding stuff, adding stuff. And then I have like some very fucking weird brain. However, I still act very much like the same person. I just have a cyborg brain that lets me see like colors, see a mini map in my head, see Twitter, listen to music.
Yeah, and that's the problem that I mentioned before. When we get to the day that we have this technology to do so, we're going to see some very crazy shit. Like we can become immortal, we can even replicate ourselves, but we're most likely going to die. And the thing that keeps that stays here, it is going to be a perfect copy of us with the same personality, with the same perceptions of reality, with the same tastes, with the same memories, with the same I mean, with the same experiences, with the same skills, well, everything. It will be a perfect copy of us, but it won't be us.
Yes, bro.
Because
This is where I want to piss all over the parade again.
no,
You know.
I was going to talk about the I was going to talk about the this exact thing that you were going to talk about now, because like you said before, we have the this illusion of reality where our brains are wired to function in a certain way, and we think that we are something unique, physically, not only physically but metaphysically. But
Yeah.
that's actually not that true. So, well, we are wired to function this way and perceive reality at this way. But well, I mean, I was giving this example because that's something that is going to be it is going to be brought up to debate in some moment in the future. But well, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it's very creepy. Well, I always finish the episodes feeling very much like, ah man, why did I have to like piss on everyone when things are so cool? But I also have to say this. I feel like, yeah, that's very much true. We may lose our consciousness and still keep ourselves living. But isn't that pretty much the way things have always been since the very beginning? Isn't that the meaning of childs?
And yeah, like you were saying, this kind of already happens. We don't know how to deal with we don't know how to deal with what the consciousness is, with the our minds is. I don't know, because well, physically this is how we are created. But I get it. You're not pissing over anyone. I know exactly what do you mean. Yeah, just relax, bro.
Yeah, no, it's because I'm kind of scared too. Because in the future, I plan to become a cyborg, so keep an eye out for that, okay, guys?
Yeah.
But when I run into that, when I start like chopping off fingers, when I start like living in VR for real, like when we are like 40 years into the future, and we are like,
Oh man,
bro,
we definitely have to have an episode exclusively dedicated to VR.
living in VR, doing VR.
Yeah, we have to make an episode exclusively for VR because there's so much to discuss about it. And well, I'm looking forward to do this too. I can't wait to just change my leg for a metal leg because this shit sucks, and a new one is going to be way better.
Yeah, you guys have
But
never seen Macedo, but imagine like yeah, the guy from Cyberpunk, what's his name?
Keanu
Uh
Reeves,
yeah, Keanu Reeves, Cyberpunk, but like very much a smoker, like heavy smoker.
yeah, I will need new body parts soon.
Yeah, me too. And once we start like skipping parts of our bodies, this is going to be a very real question. I myself want to do this, so I'm very preoccupied with like, do I really want to do this? I want to be myself.
Nah, I don't give a fuck. I only want to keep my brain. That's it.
Yeah, no, me too. Okay, I was lying. I was lying. I want
I
to
don't give
become
a
a
fuck.
robot.
Better legs. I want a better lung. I want a better. I want better arms. I want better
No.
everything. Just keep my brain.
Yeah, I also want a drone hive mind circling around me.
Yeah, we are going to start building this shit from this year. This year, we are going to start building this shit. We are going to be like
First
a
drone. First drone's gonna be there. Also the VR, like first person view drone.
man. This shit is going to be dope. We are going to create something, a budget version of the extremis, but it is going to be something like that. And I'm very excited.
Oh, it's already enough, you know. Even if it's a budget one, it's just for myself. I just want to have
Yeah,
a
for
taste.
myself because I want to do it. Then why the fuck not? It's this shit is dope. I want to create something like that, and we're going to make this shit reality because the shit is cool. And when we create it, we are going to film it and post for you guys to see it. And well, just wait for it. Just wait for it because it is going to be great.
Oh yes, you guys have to see this. I have always imagined this. Right now I'm stuck in my room, and my room is a one-bedroom room. And I'm looking through the window. I have looked for the last year as a whole because it's 2021, and I haven't left my room.
Yeah,
And I
same.
always wanted to make a drone in order to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, same. If I had a drone, I could like just to fly the motherfucker out of the window and see what's happening out there.
Oh, this is definitely going to happen, guys. We are not like saying this for shits and giggles.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, this is for
definitely.
real.
This is real. This is for real, like very real, and it's going to happen very soon. And I mean, we are in February right now. I'm
Yeah,
going to start developing an AI in April, and this very same AI is going to be the one to control the drone swarm. I just have to figure out the technical implications and regarding the connection because well we are limited physically, so if the drone flies too far I won't be able to fucking control it.
yeah, we gotta do
So
our homework.
well, we gotta do our homework, but it is going to happen. It is going to be crazy.
Oh, but for real, I think the first thing that's going to happen, maybe not the drone, but the plane. Oh, that's for sure. It only needs to be like a recognition plane. It flies around in like 1 kilometer across our building, you know.
Well, 1 kilometer is kind of cool. It's not that close.
No, because we are going to first test the cameras. We need to make sure the cameras work in first person, and the hotspot, you know, the tower. So the
Yeah.
plane, it literally, we do not control the plane. It just flies in circles in 1 kilometer across.
Yeah, we have to test lots of things. But well, I guess we got another hour of of the second part of the episode. That's right.
Yeah, I wasn't even planning this, but it's a lot.
Yeah, I guess we can finish this off by now. I guess, guys, this the conversation that we had today was another good one. Do you agree with it? What do you think?
No, for sure. I wait for this the whole week. Even if you guys
Yeah,
don't watch this, this is like therapy for
yeah, this is
me.
like yeah, it's truly like therapy. In the start, we were planning to do this weekly, but now we are going to do this twice a week. So
Be
now
weekly.
we are recording this at Friday. I don't know what the day is, but we are going to be back at Monday for another episode. We already have some ideas to discuss about, and I hope you guys can be with us. If not in Monday when we are going to go live with this conversation, I hope you guys can listen this in the future. And if you're listening this in the future, just go to our Discord community or our subreddits or whatever, whenever you can find us and have a talk to us. Let us know what you guys think about technology and the ideas that you would like to see implemented in real life or whatever philosophical thoughts that you guys have. We are eager to know about this. We are always interested in debating about this. And our plan here is to create a community with you guys, like we always said since the beginning.
Yes, this is a very pleasing conversation, at least to me, and Macedo says he likes it too. So if you want to be a part of that, please be our guest.
Be our guests, and I guess that's it for today, right? There's something that you want to talk to finish it. What do you think?
Yeah, I want to say that congratulations, bro. You're doing it very goodly. It's amazing.
It's
I
amazing.
like it the way you did the call to action.
Yeah, I'm almost getting how to do this. I'm very excited to get even better with each episode, with every episode. And I guess that when we have guests over, it is going to be great. I can definitely see it.
Yes, guys, keep an eye out for that because this Monday, it's going to be the last one of this season of tests. I am very pleased with the tests. And then on the next Friday, we may have some guests, and it's a whole new world.
Yeah, it's a whole new world. It's a whole new era from this podcast, and I hope this gets bigger so we have access to more people with more ideas and more things to talk about because talking about this is so fucking good.
That's true. Bye bye, guys.
So that's it, and see you Monday. Bye bye.